I love Tesla. So what we got, fentanyl coming in. You've got all these undocumented, these sex harassment people coming in, sexual act. They're coming in. They're not doing nothing about it. And then you
Fentanyl.
Oh my god.
Fucking us in,
garbage.
Bruce.
God. Hi, and welcome to Unboxed Politics. Oh, Jesus. Huh? What'd you say? What? Who?
Nothing to spare.
Hi, welcome to Unboxed Politics. I am Tim. Mikey, play the sound so I can do the blurb. This is a Bin Podcast Network production. We can't do this without our patrons. Patreon.com/Bin Podcast. Our patrons are Ollie and Dutch and Claire Levert and Tons of Mice and Hayden and Russell. I think that's all of them.
Yes.
Also, the many members we have now on YouTube, thank you for being members. Please continue supporting us because you love us and we love you.
List all their names. Do it.
I don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to say it 50,000 times.
You got 50,000 members.
Yeah, there's a lot of them now.
We are working on that banner.
Oh yeah, we are working on that.
Upside down and burning.
I hear Mike is recording a little ditty for it, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
kid got sick over the
kitty.
weekend, so I didn't really do a lot of work. And then on Monday, I got that sickness, and then I had to do the show with Graham, and I was like, oh, my throat feels like razor blades. I listened back to like parts of it. I was like, oh, I can hear the phlegm in me.
If we get 1,000 subscribers, we can have sick days. So come on, team.
But we're not there yet, so I gotta work sick.
They're gonna leave us at 999 now. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
They'll never get us over the hump.
I'm at 900. I'm trying to trick him. Shut up, Tim. You don't know.
By the way, we have a new member, Triton58. That sounds like a bot. That's a bot.
Russian bot.
Next.
It could be a bot.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Say, oh, you think you
Oh,
bought that?
wrong
You
one.
think it's a
Wrong
game?
one.
He's not even paying with real
It's
money.
a bot with money, so we thank you.
Enough crowd.
All right. So what do we do here, guys? What's this show all about? What's going on? Who are you people? Why are you here?
I'm Mark, and I'm
I
here.
don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to say it 50,000 times.
I'm here to let Tim make me sad.
You heard what she said.
Click it.
I'm Canadian Ollie Man, and I'm
Keeping our
here
elbows
because
up, bud.
we put pineapple on pizza.
Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight.
Yeah, we're live.
I love Tesla.
And I'm stealing Tim's.
Few of those when I went through puberty.
Honka honka.
Anyway,
I'm already dead.
Here, I didn't. Claire, that's my sound.
eggs. I'm not eating eggs. I'm not eating eggs. I'm not.
Not eating eggs.
I'm not eating it.
not.
I'm not.
Nope.
Give that. You gotta give that like 10% more.
10% more. Okay. I'm still trying to. I can't hear these. Just so people know. That's
Yeah.
what Mikey's telling me. I'm putting it through like my microphone.
Dude, what if
So-
it's the wrong file? It could be playing anything that I couldn't do.
I know what the file is. I named the files.
But what if something got messed up and it's
Yeah, what
playing
if you
something
misnamed
else?
something?
Yeah, it could be anything. He's
Fettuccine,
like,
linguine, martini, bikini.
"Fuck it." Damn it. Oh yeah, I know what'll make you laugh.
Sucking us dry and
Oh God, no.
I don't know. I think you should only play the Bernie clips for Tim from now on.
Yeah. I feel like he was like leaning in to block it, so I'm waiting until his guard is down.
Yeah, so we're gonna review some videos. We got a lot to get to, so let's get to it.
Let's
What's our
go.
first video?
Go time.
All right.
Bill
Whoa, wait.
Bill Pool is a shame.
And if I get distracted, it's because there's a hockey game on.
Ollie.
Canadian.
Turn off your shit.
Get hockey game.
God,
Play a
I'm
hockey. Get.
Can I do my fucking transition, please? God, and I got to push the button again.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.
Ben Shapiro.
Uh,
In terms of the media, coming out this week is a story reported by ABC News, among others, that the Trump administration is now preparing to accept a super luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar. It is a $400 million gift available for use by President Trump as new Air Force One until shortly before he leaves office, at which time, according to the deal, the plane doesn't stay with the United States government. It then moves to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation.
You can't park this, huh?
yeah.
According to ABC News, the gift had been expected to be announced when President Trump was on his visit to Qatar. A senior White House official said it's not going to happen in Qatar anymore, presumably thanks to social media blowback. President Trump put out a statement on Truth Social about the blowback, saying, so the fact that the Defense Department is getting a gift free of charge of 747 aircraft to replace the 40-year-old Air Force One temporarily in a very public and transparent transaction so bothers the crooked Democrats. They insist we pay top dollar
Air
for
Force
trade.
One.
Anybody can do that. The Dems are world-class losers. MAGA. So, again, the arrangement itself is, shall we say, I believe the technical term, the legal term, is skeezy. Sources told ABC News that lawyers for the White House counsel's office and the Department of Justice drafted an analysis for the Defense Department, concluding it's legal for the DOD to accept the aircraft as a gift and then later turn it over to the Trump Library, and that somehow does not violate laws against bribery or the Constitution's prohibition on emoluments. The Constitution literally says the U.S. government cannot accept official gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state. Apparently, Attorney General Pam Bondi and the top White House lawyer, David Warrington, concluded it would be legally permissible for the donation of the aircraft to be conditioned on transferring its ownership to Trump's presidential library before the end of his term. And apparently, Pam Bondi, who it should be mentioned at this point was once an actual FARA registered agent acting on behalf of the government of Qatar, provided a legal memorandum addressed to the White House counsel's office last week after Warrington asked her for.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
She was a registered foreign agent working with the government of Qatar, huh?
That's completely not anything to do with this.
Well,
How
we're
would you
missing
even bring
the
that up?
point. You know, gifts are illegal, but bribes are fine.
It's not a gift, it's a bribe, dumbass.
Bribes are legal in the Trump regime. So
Them's the breaks.
I mean, he did suspend the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, so
Yeah.
there's that.
so he's safe.
It's not illegal because I got rid of the law.
'Cause I said so.
It's not illegal because I'm suspending the law. Yeah. Okay.
The legality of the Pentagon accepting such a donation. We'll get to more on that in a second. First, choosing Simply Safe first.
Oh my
damn it,
God!
Ben.
Damn
What
it!
the
No one
fuck?
gives a fuck about Simply Safe. All right, buddy. No one cares.
Simply fucked.
Simply kiss my ass.
No matter what, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff says. They try to stuff money in pockets in totally bipartisan fashion. Just rewind a few years. While Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, Qatar gave $1 million to the Clinton Foundation for Bill Clinton's birthday and didn't even bother to inform the State Department as they promised they would do. So, again, Qatar will court anyone it thinks will have power, Republican or Democrat. It's an equal opportunity influencer, as long as you can help whitewash their image or smooth over the fact that they are, in fact, the world's largest proponents of terrorism on an international scale in terms of PR and in terms of putting money in pockets. Qatar likes to present a modern Western-friendly face while shoveling money to Islamic terrorists under the table. This is a regime that has, for literally decades, funneled billions of dollars into the hands of Hamas, Hezbollah, the Taliban. We're talking about systematic, ongoing financial support that has strengthened Hamas's grip on Gaza, provided them with the resources, and yes, enabled terror attacks that killed innocent civilians. Doha, which is the capital, their 5-star hotels are basically a retirement home for Hamas leaders. Qatar has been credibly accused by the Treasury Department, by international watchdogs, by regional allies of allowing financiers of Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and the Muslim Brotherhood to operate within its borders.
Let me just pause, Ben, for 1 second here. Free plane.
Free
You
plane.
ain't hearing none of the shit that you just said. Free, motherfucker. You hear me? Free. He is not listening to what the fuck you He heard free plane and was like, hell yeah. Give me that shit.
Is it really free?
It has repeatedly failed to crack down on terror.
It's free real estate.
It's free at the moment free.
Terrorist financing, even after being pressured by the United States and its neighbors. In 2017, former Defense Secretary Robert Gates said, quote, I don't know instances in which Qatar aggressively goes after networks of Hamas, Taliban, or Al-Qaeda. Qatar has, of course, transferred almost $2 billion to Hamas over the years, which, again, is one of the reasons it's so sick to send Idan Alexander to meet with the Emir of Qatar, if that's a thing that ends up happening.
With the help of
Here is the former Saudi foreign minister, again, not Westerner, Saudi foreign minister, Adel Al-Jubair, explaining the problems with Qatar.
The Qataris, since the mid-90s, have been sponsoring radicals. They have been inciting people. They have become a base for the leadership for the Muslim Brotherhood. And the Muslim Brotherhood, you have to keep in mind, is what begot us Takfir and Hijrah, which begot us Al-Qaeda, which begot us Al-Nusra. The Qataris allow their senior religious clerics to go on television and justify suicide bombings. That's not acceptable. The Qataris harbor and shelter terrorists. That's not acceptable.
Again, that's the Sauds. So how does Qatar excuse all of this? Well, Qatar simply says they don't actually consider terrorist groups to be, terrorists. Here was the Emir of Qatar saying as much back in 2014.
No, we do recognize extremists. We believe if they're extremists, we believe that they're extremists, and we don't fund extremists. But there are differences. There are differences that some countries and some people, that any group which comes from Islamic background are terrorists, and we don't accept that.
Okay, so some of the groups they don't consider to be terrorists would be, like all the ones we mentioned, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Taliban. Qatar essentially plays both sides of the table. They say they should be given leeway because they're the negotiation point for the West and terrorist groups. But then Qatar helps fund and house those terrorist groups.
Wait, they're playing both sides towards the middle?
Yeah, right.
Okay, buddy. All right.
As well as doing the bidding of Iran. You know who says this, actually? President Trump. There was President Trump on Qatar in June 2017.
Oh, man, he's calling Trump out?
Of Qatar.
Hey, you better be careful, Ben. You're going to get your ass deported.
We have
He's going to catch some strays on this one.
You're going to get your ass sent to Israel. You better relax.
Unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level. And in the wake of that conference, nations came together.
And for the record, this is before they gave him a jet. So
yeah.
They're cool.
They're
I
much
didn't say
better
what
now.
you said. I said I thought I said.
They are much better now that they've given me a jet.
And spoke to me about confronting Qatar over
With
its
the plane.
So we had a decision to make. Do we take the easy road or do we finally take a hard but necessary action?
Oh,
we have to stop funding of terrorism.
Okay, well, how does Qatar combat these allegations? The answer is they spread the money everywhere. According to the Network Contagion Research Institute, Qatar is by far the single largest donor to American universities since 9/11. By far, it's not close. You want to talk about foreign influence operations? This would be that. They're not doing that. They're so sweet and nice. Why exactly would they sign these giant checks unless they got something in return? Here's the Prime Minister of Qatar this week explaining to the Georgetown Doha campus. Yes, Georgetown has a campus in Qatar that the service of Qatar had to be their guiding light as part of a greater national project on behalf of Qatar.
Really doesn't like Georgetown, does he?
Since today, he said in Arabic, I urge you to fear God in your conscience. I love the service of the nation and its people, be your guiding light.
Ben, shut up.
Maintain your faith in yourselves. In a time where transformations crises are deepening, from the Gaza tragedy to regional tensions, Qatar reaffirms its commitment to mediation and diplomacy as a means to protect civilians.
Wait, and this is okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
And credibility is built through continuous action. Okay, so what exactly is he saying? He says they're churning out people who work for Qatar. Okay, the greater national project doesn't end at Qatar's borders. Their influence matters. That is why Georgetown University, which has a branch in Doha, just gave a medal to a Qatari royal who praised Yahya Sinwar, the head of Hamas, after October 7th. Qatar is also the home of Al Jazeera, the pro-terrorism media network that spreads anti-American, anti-Israeli, anti-Semitic bile across the Middle East. Meanwhile, the Qatar Investment Authority, CIA, controls, according to the Institute for the Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy, between $500 billion and $1 trillion in assets. And they use those assets to put themselves in positions of influence. So, for example, in August 2023, the Qatari Sovereign Wealth Fund bought the Park Lane Hotel in New York for $623 million. Okay. The company was owned by Steve Witkoff's company. The company had been in limbo.
Steve
Park Lane Hotel was in limbo for 6 years following the attempted seizure of the hotel by the DOJ, thanks to corruption charges against one of the original owners, a guy named Lo Take Zhou. So,
hold on, wait for it.
When Steve Witkoff says that he really, really likes the Qataris, well, I mean, he does have some warm relations with the Qataris.
I think in the case of the Qataris, they're criticized for
on the Tucker Carlson
being
show.
well motivated. It's preposterous. They are well.
Wow, he said, I'm getting some clicks, damn it. I don't care if my network is dying. We're coming back. I'm swinging for the fences.
Motivated. They're good, decent people. What they want is a mediation that's effective, that gets to a peace goal. And why? Because they're a small nation and they want to be acknowledged as a peacemaker.
Taking sacks of goodies from people who support Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Al Jazeera, all the rest. That's not America first. Like, please define America first in a way that says you should take sacks of cash from the Qatari royals who are behind Al Jazeera. It just isn't America first in any conceivable way. So back to the original question. Is this good for President Trump? Is it good for his agenda? Is it good for draining the swamp and getting things done? The answer is no, it isn't. It isn't. If you want President Trump to succeed,
Daddy's going to be angry.
Needs to stop. And here's the thing. It's already having an impact.
Just spank you with
It's
my
already having an
cane.
impact. Quick example. Last week, the Senate considered a procedural vote on the so-called Genius Act. This is an act that should have had wide bipartisan support. The Genius Act helps deregulate the crypto industry, an area that's vital for America's economic development. As you all know, I'm a big fan of crypto. I own Bitcoin, some Ethereum.
Of course
If you want to explain
Of course you are.
why crypto is fascinating and useful, check out my YouTube video on the subject.
No.
I've been ecstatic about President Trump's deregulatory approach to the subject, which is awesome. But the bill was shot down last week because, at least in part, Democrats said they wouldn't vote for the thing because of President Trump's use of crypto himself. You all remember President Trump launching $Trump crypto 3 days before taking office as president. Trump himself announced the Trump crypto on X and Truth Social. He described it as a meme coin, meaning it had no inherent value. It was just there for the kind of bleeps and giggles. The price spiked to a trading value of nearly $13 billion, making it the 19th most valuable cryptocurrency on planet Earth. And then it proceeded to plummet, like really, really die.
Yeah,
The project ultimately netted people associated with it, meaning the Trump organizations associated with the Trump
He's a
crypto.
billionaire again.
$350 million. 80% of the outstanding supply of that meme coin is still held by insiders, presumably members of the Trump organization. Overall, according to data shared with CNBC, there were 2 million wallets that bought that.
He's reporting from CNBC. He's pissed, dude.
Yeah, man.
He snapped. Oh no, they broke him.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro, liberal ally.
He turned target. He's turning on them.
He's not really a liberal ally though. He's just anti-Trump.
Well, the Republicans took Tulsi Gabbard. We're taking Ben Shapiro.
No, you're taking Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
you can go live in
I
Minnesota
don't
with
want
your
him.
ass.
We don't want him.
If you want Michelle Bachmann in exchange, sure.
Coin. 764,000 of them lost money. 58 wallets made more than $10 million. And then in April, that Trump meme coin announced that the top 220 holders of the meme coin would be invited to an intimate private dinner with President Trump at his golf club.
Oh, shit.
The top 25 were invited to a VIP White House tour. According to Bloomberg News, 19 of the top 25 holders of that Trump meme coin that have registered on the website's leaderboard have bought the coins using foreign exchanges that claim to exclude U.S. customers. Damn. Which means that foreigners are buying a lot of the meme coin and then getting meetings with President Trump and VIP.
He's telling the whole thing.
Former lawyer Ben Shapiro is
no.
laying out a legal case against Donald Trump
for a crypto Trump scam of foreign intervention.
What is happening?
His allies are starting to turn on him, eh?
Should we keep going?
We need more though.
I would
cooking.
I would give it another minute or two, see where he's going with this.
Let the
Let's
man
wait for
cook.
There will be a turn. There will be a turn. We'll
Let
know.
him cook.
White House tours and all the rest. This raises the question of influence peddling. If you basically buy a bunch of Trump meme coins and then funnel money to organizations associated with President Trump so that you can have dinner with Trump, that doesn't look great. Democratic senators, of course, immediately announced that they wanted an ethics probe. They sent a letter saying, quote, this latest action raises grave ethics and legal concerns, including the severe risk that President Trump and other officials may be engaging in pay-to-play corruption by selling presidential access to individuals or entities to include foreign nationals and corporate actors with vested interests in federal action while personally enriching the president and his family. It might be overstated, but let's be clear, some people do seem to be investing in the Trump meme coin for the access. I mean, there was literally a CEO of a company called Freight Technologies that just bought $20 million worth of Trump meme coin, which I got to say is not like the most solid investment. The explanation, quote, we believe the addition of the official Trump tokens are an excellent way to diversify our crypto treasury and also an effective way to advocate for fair, balanced, and free trade between Mexico and the United States. It's like to impact policy. Again, not the least skeezy thing I've ever heard. Now, listen, maybe all of this is overblown. Maybe it's all nonsense. Maybe some of it's not true. I understand it's being reported by legacy media outlets. But again, here is the question. Does any of this help advance the president's agenda? You know, the agenda that we all voted for, the agenda we want to see implemented. Does this make his presidency stronger or weaker? Now, I'm going to repeat again. I don't know whether this activity is criminal in any way, but things do not have to be criminal to hurt the agenda.
I think you made a pretty strong case for criminality, though.
Yeah, right.
Is not the way. Taking real estate deals from Qatar is not the way. The largest obstacle to any administration is scandal. From Watergate to Whitewater, scandal-plagued administrations have a really tough time gathering the political capital necessary to actually effectuate their agenda. And that's why it's unbelievably important that the Trump administration avoid scandal. That is the reason I'm worried about this stuff. Yes, I think inherently it is bad. I do not think this is good. I think if we switch the names to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, we'd all be freaking out on the right. Let's say if...
I'm cutting it
He
there.
just said it. He just said the thing.
Damn.
Wow.
Holy shit.
He just said the thing right
Wow.
Wow.
If he wasn't such a piece of shit, that's an S tier comment.
Kinda, yeah.
All right, so here's how we're
Holy
going to
fuck.
do this, because we got a shit ton of these to go through. We're going to go clockwise, starting with me. We're going to give grades, and then we're going to move on. All right, so content. I'm going to go with a solid B on that one. Ben's putting out some decent stuff there. He's pretty wishy-washy about it, but he's got some good points.
I thought he had some excellent points. Yeah, I'm going to give him a B+.
A minus.
Better than average. Better
A
than
minus.
average.
I can't give him a full A, but he truly called out the bullshit in a way I've never seen.
Either.
I'm going to give him a C because fuck him.
Okay.
And also, this stuff was obvious. Like, it's only like we're only surprised that he's saying it because he's so impossibly stupid every day, and he just ignores the truth. So,
but
he said what is true. So it's better than like a dumbass saying it, like a D or something like that. It is like more like main, but like he's getting his sourcing is like CNBC. Like everyone and their mom knows that shit already.
Except Trump's base, which is his audience.
Is his audience.
He's putting actual data in front of the dum-dums, which, in my opinion, earns him a higher rank. Yes, he's quoting
he's
liberal
out on a limb
media,
where he's at right there doing that in front of his audience. He's out on a limb.
All right, so that averages him out to be like a B-.
Fine.
I can live with that. I agree, though. He's a piece of shit. He has a dumb face.
Delivery.
He's not talking at 1,000 miles an hour anymore.
You know what? C+ on delivery. He's still like that. Got that weird Ben Shapiro shit that he does, but it's fine.
There was a comment that his eyebrows are different life forms. in the side chat that made me giggle along the way. But, I'm going to agree with a C+ on this because he still feels a little bit slimy.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying the right things, but he just
I would be willing to give him a B if he hadn't read out those subtitles over the clip that had them on the screen.
I'm going one lower. Thank you.
So C, no C+.
No,
The
C+,
bitch.
C.
C minus.
C.
I'm going
All
C
right.
minus.
Yeah, fuck that shit,
I
Ben. You're
forgot
not supposed
about
to read
that.
over the fucking subtitles.
Yeah.
I know MAGAs have a hard time reading. The rest of us don't.
Here's what you do. If you're gonna do that, lower the volume of the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way we
Yeah.
can only hear you.
No,
Exactly.
shout over it.
Yeah.
Shout over it.
Moving on to presentation. Ben always looks pretty good, except for the eyebrows. They are
Yeah.
wild.
The eyebrows are so distracting from the whole look. They really are.
But can we put Ben back up for a second?
Oh yeah.
Those could be painted on eyebrows, just saying.
They could be.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Like he's got a nice jacket, he's got a pretty nice shirt, no tie, which whatever. And his hair's done up nice. Like he's very polished. The show's very well produced.
Yeah, for those eyebrows, he's as tall as
He's a little drunk.
Well, I'm going to go B minus because of the eyebrows.
I'm gonna go with a B. There ain't nothing wrong with what he's doing. His eyebrows are a little crazy, but whatever.
I'm going with C. He probably hasn't showered.
I don't know what he's doing with the stubble. I don't know where he's going there.
Yeah, find a path, dude.
Is he trying to like show the passage of time? I don't know.
Leave it.
Ooh.
Mikey.
I'm trying to get a stupid face for a thumbnail.
Oh, that drunk one was perfect. You should have left it at that.
Well, that can't be done.
I know.
So.
Oh wait, what?
And
got him. Got him, coach.
And finally vibes.
He's still
still awful. Like
he is. He's so awful. It's hard to give him a good grade. The vibes should have been. You know what I mean? It's so
the
hard.
vibes are pretty bad. It is Ben Shapiro, so this is gonna have a ceiling of like a D, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's
think
like
you're
it's like last week. Who were we watching on the? It's the British guy, and he was calling the white
Piers
lady.
Morgan.
Yeah,
Piers Morgan. Yeah.
it's like that was a really good clip. It doesn't overshadow his trash.
Yeah.
Him still be trash.
And like some of the point, like I said, he was very wishy-washy on his points. Some of the points he was making were not good points, like when he called Al Jazeera a terrorist.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like he always has to sneak in some bullshit.
Yeah, he snuck in some bullshit there.
He stuck in a little bit of bullshit about the Democrats voting against something too. I can't remember exactly. What it
Yeah,
was.
he always has to play his little game.
He still put in his bullshit. Like he's not on Trump's side on this issue, but generally he still is.
So D.
I'd walk over broken glass to vote for him.
Right.
Looking at
He gets a D for being a dick.
I'll give him
for being a dick.
A D plus.
D
It's
for
not
dick?
micro.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Burke might be impressed with something there.
I will.
Don't judge the Russian crypto bot, okay?
You know what? And for that, you get pineapple.
Ah, the
It is
pineapple.
We're already at pineapple. That's not a punishment. It's expected.
That was a C.
Yeah, I mean he got
Like a C minus.
He got a C minus on that one, so that's good for Ben Shapiro. Actually,
That is real good for Ben Shapiro.
It's better than
Same as
he's
last
ever
week.
gonna do again.
The same as last week was pretty good for Piers Morgan, but he's still a scumbag.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.
I'm buying a button so I can push it when you play that.
Jesus
Sorry.
fucking Christ.
Do you have a Staples there? They have one of those buttons that you can press. It's the big red.
Mikey, I think you have the power to mute them if you want.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
RFK Jr.
Talking about the current measles outbreak, which I know is a concern for all of us here today. 2 children in Texas have tragically died from measles this year, the first children to die from measles in our country in more than 20 years. Measles is almost completely preventable with the measles
That's Tim
vaccine.
Kaine?
Yeah,
you
that
know,
is Tim Kaine.
families hear directly and clearly
Tim Kaine here.
healthcare leaders about how they can best protect their children. So, Mr. Secretary, I'd like to give you an opportunity to say clearly here today to any parents who are watching that the best way to protect their children from measles is to vaccinate them.
Yeah, I've said that the best way to stop the spread of measles is through vaccination. I would say this. We have handled this measles outbreak. We get a measles outbreak every year. We've handled this measles outbreak better than any other nation.
What I was interested in, you can say what I asked you to do was to say straight to the camera, as you did on social media, that it is your position that the best way for parents to prevent their kids from getting measles is to vaccinate them. And that is your statement today. Is that correct? All right. Well, that is great. Thank you. Now, you lead the nation's health department. So
what is he drinking?
Let me ask you a couple of questions. You think HHS...
That's a special health water blend that he drinks. Yeah.
E85?
No.
It's water from that
You
irradiated
hired
pond
David
that
Dyer
took a swim in.
to lead autism research at HHS. An individual who fraudulently posed as a doctor and gave dangerous medications and medical tests to children with autism. According to the state of Maryland's investigation, David Geyer, who has no medical license or training, gave hormone blocker injections to children with autism who were as young as 8 years old, which the Maryland Board of Medicine said poses a substantial risk of harm. Secretary Kennedy, yes or no, will you fire David Geyer?
Thank you, Triton.
First of all, what you're saying is not true. And we did not hire David Geyer to manage autism research at HHS.
So what is his job? What is his job then?
You just said some very defamatory
things
about a person who, by the way.
So let me just be clear for the record.
Those charges, Senator, I am going to correct the record on
No,
this.
let me tell you what the record says, and then I will hear from you. Last week, when Mr. O'Neill was here in his confirmation hearing, I submitted for the record.
It's spicing up.
It's getting spicy.
State of Maryland laid out. Now, if you'd like also for me to submit to the record with unanimous consent today, the findings of the state of Maryland, which fined him $10,000 for practicing medicine without a license. He does not have a medical license, and for providing and instructing and giving children hormone blockers. That is what the finding of the Maryland Department, the state of Maryland, its medical licensing board was. And I'll submit that for the record, I hope with unanimous consent.
I'm assuming that you don't know what I'm about to tell you. Or you
oh, man, let's fucking hear this.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's all. There are plenty of things that are bad and wrong. But it doesn't make it fascist.
Oh, wait, is this one?
If you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wait,
you know what I'm going to say.
Disingenuous or even disingenuous.
Oh, you could have used it. Oh,
yeah, I could have used it on Ben because he is disingenuous.
He is
We'll put it in there in post.
Yeah.
May or may not know that David Geyer sued the American.
I do know that. I do know that. That doesn't change the findings. Nor does it change the experience of the parents who testified.
That finding was reversed by court, and he was awarded $5 million.
That is not true. Now let me ask you. So I just want confirmation. David Geyer is still at HHS. I wrote you a letter about this a month ago, and you have not responded.
Well, I apologize for that. That's our bad.
That's our bad.
David Geyer is not managing autism research.
So what is his job? What is his job at HHS? This is somebody who gave parents the impression that he was a doctor and gave hormone blockers to children as young as 8, telling them that hormone blockers would somehow magically help their kids with autism.
His father
His father is a doctor, but he is not. And his father was not in the room and did not, and he faked his father's signature according to the state board.
That ruling was overturned by a court. So what you're saying is just wrong. It's just a lie. And they were actually, the court said that the Maryland Board of Physicians was guilty of actual malice in fabricating those charges against David Geyer.
Well, we will pursue this. And I will submit for the record.
So do you want to know why we brought David Geyer in?
Sure.
Because it wasn't to run autism research. In 2002, the CDC runs a vaccine safety data link, which is supposed to be vaccine information for the biggest HMOs. that are supposed to allow CDC to have a surveillance system for vaccine injury. It's a backstop system. The CDC will not let any physicians in there to look at it, or any scientists, independent scientists.
He's neither a scientist nor a physician.
Right. The Congress ordered.
He's like, yeah, that's true.
Open it to the Guyers. So they are the only
I can see the
scientists
worm
who
in his
have ever
brain
been in
moving.
there.
But again, Mr. Geyer is not a scientist. Thank you.
Independent scientists.
Okay, Senator Heston's time's expired, but before we move on, did you have a unanimous consent request that I heard in there, Senator?
Where have you been?
Senator Hawley, I did. A unanimous consent request.
Holly, where the fuck were you?
Yeah, where the fuck were you? You're the chair, and you're like, you didn't answer the unanimous consent?
You running in from the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was texting. I'm sorry.
I really had a number twosie.
Yeah.
Or the printout of the website that shows Dr. Geyer is not Dr. Geyer, that's his father, Mr. Geyer, is employed. And also a unanimous consent request for the finding from the Board of Licensing in Maryland.
Without objection to both of those. And now, Mr. Kennedy, before we get to my time, do you want, if you'd like to finish your response, go ahead.
Let
And
me
then
say
we'll,
that.
Boy, how long you been gone?
David Geyer is the only living independent scientist who's seen the VSD inside. There's been a lot of monkey business with the VSD, including allegations of fraud. And he was hired by an independent contractor not as an HHS employee, but by an independent contractor to look at the documents that we were getting to the VSD to see if they conformed with what he saw between 2002 and 2016. And that's the only reason that he was brought in, to see if there's so much information that has disappeared from that database. The only way we could find out what information disappeared was because he was the one guy who saw it.
And just let the record show he's not a scientist. Thank you very much.
All right.
I was about to say, who cares if you look at some fucking data?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
You're a fucking guy, dude. You're just a guy. You're not a scientist.
Yeah, but this is their whole fucking thing, right? They don't care about experts. They don't care about people with degrees. They just care about who their friends are, get to fucking play with them during the day.
And who can prove the points they want to push.
Yeah,
like
who can
it's
say
not
what they want them to say.
Who's sprouting their bullshit?
Unbelievable.
All right.
I'm sad.
I don't know who the senator was, but they're going to get an honorable mention.
Hickenlooper.
Hickenlooper.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what that sounds like?
I agree with an honorable mention.
Chicken bleep mother froggers. Yeah.
Well, he does have a frog somewhere
in his brain.
RFK.
Brain worm.
RFK before?
Oh, you're gonna make me find my brain worm.
a worm pole.
This is RFK's first review, so actually, there's another RFK video. Do we want to do like one review for all of his bullshit? All right, play the next one.
Thank
goodness.
All right.
There might be more than, I don't know how many I put in there. He was all over the news the last couple of days, so there may be a couple. Ollie and his brainworm.
Well, do we want to get Hickenlooper, or is she just getting an honorable mention?
I think we'll give her an honorable mention.
Okay. So I will just roll it.
In trying to get to know you, there's some public things that make you somewhat of a conundrum to people like me, just trying to understand. One is on vaccines, and I don't want to ask you about all the specific.
Hold on, I forgot to press this.
I'm gonna need you to be drug tested.
Damn it! Just too slow on
theories on vaccines, but
there'll be more.
Something that might be helpful is you previously said you vaccinated your children. Just because I think this is a helpful answer, and this isn't a gotcha, I promise. If you had a child today, would you vaccinate that child for measles?
For measles, probably for measles. What I would say is my opinions about vaccines are irrelevant. I've directed Jay Bhattacharya.
Sure. No, like I said, I don't want to.
So that everybody can make that decision. But I don't want to seem like I'm being evasive.
Yeah.
But you are.
I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me.
Right. No, I got that. I'm not asking you to give them advice.
But you're the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
You're the guy.
You run our fucking healthcare agency. You should be a doctor. You should have appointed a doctor. It's always a doctor.
Look at the dude on the right.
Here's how I know he really doesn't have a brainworm. A brainworm would have starved to death. Fuck.
A ghost of a brainworm.
Oh.
The bones of a brainworm.
And by the way, every other time people ask him, he's like, "Oh yeah, here's some fucking medical advice. Take a vitamin A shot for your measles."
Yeah.
Or some Ozempic. I heard that's going to cure most things.
Cure most things. That would adapt to ivermectin.
I'm immune to everything then because I can't take the Ozempic.
There you go.
You'll live 1,000 years.
You're Canadian. You'll be okay.
Right, no, I got that, and I'm not asking you. Would you vaccinate your child for measles?
If I answer that question directly, that it will seem like I'm giving advice to other people, and I don't want to be doing that. I want people to make
but that's kind of your jurisdiction because CDC. Thank
you.
Do it as a gotcha. It's just
what we're going to try to do is to lay out the pros and cons, the risks and benefits accurately as we understand them.
Okay,
with replicable studies.
Can you talk about chickenpox? Would you vaccinate your child against chickenpox?
I don't want to give advice. I can tell
The
you
answer is no.
That's
The
a
answer is
no.
no.
Chickenpox vaccine
That's a no.
specifically because the preclinical trial shows that when you inoculate the population for chickenpox, you get shingles in older people, which is more dangerous.
Just one last one. Just a yes or no, please. If we could, polio.
Polio. Again, I don't want to be giving advice.
Really?
That's fair.
Polio?
Like I said, I was not doing it as a gotcha. I was just
I'm
back to iron lung.
Okay.
Really, polio? I can't give you guys an answer on that one. Polio? I don't know.
I don't know if you guys should protect yourselves from polio.
I wish you would ask them, out of all the vaccines that we normally give our children, which ones do you think we shouldn't give?
Yeah, that would have been good. That's a good question, Ollie. That's a good question. He's the Secretary of Health and Human Services. All right.
What does that have to do with anything?
He is the voice of this nation's medical agencies. He cannot say
that was when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die anyway.
I think it's a conspiracy linked to bringing back manufacturing. We want to build the iron lung again. We want to make it great.
Oh my god!
And it's going to be American built.
It's going to be an America lung.
People are hurt on.
All right, Mikey. I think
so
there's
many clips in here.
I know. I think there's one more I put in there.
Is there another one?
Oh my god!
Shit.
It's the woman.
It's
now recognize
chunks of pineapple.
Okay.
No, this is a whole fucking pineapple.
There was no more. There was no more RFK.
Are you sure there's no more RFK?
There was just the two.
Make iron lung great again. Brandon, you got a membership tonight gifted to you.
There's one that's there's one more RFK one that says Rosa DeLore and RFK. It's the second link. Link number 2.
The ranking member, Mr. Lauro.
Oh, okay. That was over here.
She tears into him over his spending or lack thereof.
Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.
Representative DeLauro!
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me address one area of correction that has to do with the measles issue, Mr. Secretary, comparing the U.S. to other countries.
What is this camera?
If you compare us to Europe, but the Europe you are referring to is the WHO European region. That's 53 countries in Europe and in Asia, including those with low vaccination rates like Romania, that has never eliminated measles. If you compare us to Western Europe countries that we often compare ourselves to, like Great Britain, they have seen no measles death this year. Let me move to the NIH. In your testimony, you say you want to quote, and I quote, rescale our biomedical research budget, unquote. Excuse me, but that's BS. You are not rescaling NIH research. You are proposing to cut it by $20 billion. And
holy shit.
Colleagues in the Senate, NIH has effectively cut research funding by $2.7 billion this year. in comparison to the same period last year. That's a cut of 35% during that period. That includes cutting cancer research by 31%. This is the report put out by the Senate, Trump's War on Science, which goes into detail about how we are, in fact, dealing with cutting scientific research. Mr. Secretary, are you freezing or withholding funding that Congress appropriated in 2025 for life-saving NIH research?
Let me address your first issue first, because I want to correct you. We have about 1,100 measles cases in this country. The growth rate last year was 15 additional, so we have plateaued. Mexico has roughly the same number with a third of our population, and they got 300 extra cases last week. Canada has more measles, 1,500. They have 1/8 of our population. Western Europe has about 6,000, which is 10 times the number.
Oh, yeah? Okay, thank you.
Well, you are wrong about what you said earlier.
We can discuss that, but I think one has to consider whether or not we're dealing with decades of data proving how.
Hey, Mike, you pause it for a second.
Read out that super chat. Yeah.
Big old super chat.
Thank
from
you.
His voice sounds like that thing where you push on your own ears and make everything sound tremolo. I think is that the
tremolo.
Word? Tremolo.
Tremolo.
And go whoosh whoosh whoosh. Twist the volume knob back and forth to work the static out of your old speakers. Ass voice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kay. I know exactly what you're talking. Like, you know what? I used to use that trick at the pool because if you get water in your ear, you just kind of use, you know, that little triangle part of your ear. You kind of get like a little suction there. You can kind of, you can get the water to come out. Yeah, but before that happened, you would get that sound like fucking Tom Morello going crazy on a solo. That's funny.
Okay, so
He's got a Tom Morello distortion pedal on his voice.
Mark, you were saying?
Sorry.
We have some data.
Okay.
For 2025 so far, the U.S. has 1,001 cases of the measles. Mexico has 421.
Okay, so
he was
not
wrong.
what he said.
He said the same, and it's a third.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Canada actually has more than the U.S. at 1,069, but this article clearly states it is in the population of those that are not vaccinated.
Yeah,
like the Mennonite community, I heard,
and people out in Alberta and stuff like that. I think
So there's a huge spike in Canada since in 1998 when it was eliminated, or statistically eliminated from the population. But so yeah, like 20% accurate, not really there.
Yep. He said 1,500 for Canada, and it's only just
it's
60
2/3 of that. So
yeah. So he's quoting wrong and misleading statistics. Cool.
Yep.
No, he's not. He's just alternative facts.
So anyone that ever wants me to fact check, either in the chat or from our other lovely hosts here, let me know. I will Google search it. We will figure it out.
Oh, I did facts check how old Air Force One currently is, and it's 35 years old. Not 40.
It is an old plane. It is an old plane.
Yeah,
sure.
I thought it would have been newer than that. But
Boeing is building him a new one because he requested it.
It's already been ordered and paid for.
It's already been ordered and paid for.
So he's going to have two. Gotcha.
Well, except he gets to keep this other one.
Bro, imagine if you were like at work at fucking Boeing, just you got the news playing on like the TV, just like, are you fucking shitting me? Are you shitting? I just crawled to put the damn landing gear there for hours.
Yeah, he's passing up a $50 million aircraft for a $400 million aircraft.
That has nothing needed to be Air Force One.
Right. It's just going to, like Mikey said this afternoon, it's going to be a flying fucking microphone.
It's just a fucking open Wi-Fi.
I did hear too that they will have to significantly increase its fighter escort because it has no safety measures if he starts using it.
It doesn't have flares or shit. Like it doesn't have any countermeasures against someone trying to take down Air Force One.
Oh,
exactly.
God. Anywho,
Air Force One is a flying fortress / hospital.
Yes.
That can survive nuclear blasts.
Right.
It survives nuclear blasts.
Yeah, by cheating, by flying all up and stuff.
But no,
flying the hell out of there at 600 miles an hour helps.
It's made of vaccines. I don't want it.
He wants to surround himself in gold instead.
Oh,
just paint the thing gold. I don't care what you do with Air Force One. Don't buy this fucking.
It's
Buy.
free.
It's free. Yeah, it's free. Don't
Wait. No. It's free.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, he's definitely doing something for them.
Someone should paint it orange. Like the color of Mikey's sweatshirt right there. We
Like
need that
Cheetos
color.
orange. Yeah.
Fucking Goku orange.
Just bitch plain, and it's just orange.
Oh man! All right, come on, guys. We're getting
back to it.
All right. I just wanted to point out the super chat.
Thank you, Kay.
We love you.
Love you.
Yep.
The measles vaccine is. I want to move to that. I want my questions answered on are you freezing and withholding funding that Congress appropriated in 2025 for life-saving NIH research?
We are not withholding any funding for life-saving research.
Okay. Do you commit to following the law?
Of course.
Fully obligating funding that Congress appropriated. We appropriated, it is the law of the land for NIH research, and to obligate those funds by September 30th of this year? Or are you planning to break the law by impounding congressionally appropriated funds?
If you appropriate me the funds, I'm going to spend them.
We have
did already,
in the bill.
stupid.
You
Yeah.
are the NIH by $18 billion. You're
Oh, my
proposing to cut
God.
it by $20 billion. The Congress appropriated those funds. It passed into law. It's part of the 2024 budget, and we are under a continuing resolution that has adopted the 2024 numbers. How then can you justify cutting $20 billion from the biomedical research budget?
If you appropriate the money to me, I'm going to spend that.
We
money.
have appropriated, Mr.
Right, then I'm
Secretary.
going to spend it.
Then you're going to spend it. You're not going to cut $20 billion from the NIH.
The White House proposal is to do very, very large cuts at NIH.
Well, that is contrary to
but
the
if-
money
if Congress-
appropriated.
Ranking member,
Yes.
if Congress appropriates me the money, I'm going to spend the money.
But they did.
have the
That's their
power
point.
this year.
You have to,
You
bitch.
know that.
Thank you for reiterating that, but I think that I'm not sure the administration really has internalized that. Particularly, Mr. Vogt hasn't internalized that when he says that we can't.
Oh my God! It just hit me. RFK didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't know that at all.
Oh my God!
Oh, fuck.
Here, this is what I'm talking about, man. These people do not know how government works.
He didn't know that he was talking about him.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna spend the money you gave me. He's like, they're cutting the money. He's like, I didn't cut it. No, not you, stupid. They're trying to cut your money. Are you gonna let them do it? No, I'm gonna give the money you told me to spend.
Unless they cut it.
Yeah.
Wait.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's
He
dumb.
has no idea what's happening right now. He's,
RF
Why is she upset with me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get why she's mad at me. I'm trying to do what she said.
Why is she yelling at me?
I said, yeah, I spend the money.
I said, you
RFK
guys give me
Jr..
the money, I spend it.
He is the idiot that goes to like the driver's test and doesn't realize you also have to do a parallel parking thing to pass.
Oh my God. I can't believe that he was like, wait, no, I'm doing what they told me to do.
But Mark, he'd never get to the driving test because he can't pass the written part.
No, that's what. No, the worm passes that part, Ollie. All right, the worm's got that under control.
The worm died a long time ago, man.
See. Hey, stupid.
And in fact, in pound money, the money is there. The 2024 budget includes the funding for the NIH. Will you commit to spending the money that is in 2024 in that budget?
As I said, ranking member, if you appropriate money, I'm going to spend that money.
The money has been appropriated. So the answer to that is if you're not willing to accept the funds that have been lawfully voted by members of the House and Senate on the money for the National Institutes of Health. Well, I'm going to hold you to your word that that funding is there. It should be transferred from 24 to 25, and you've cut already $20 billion. Let's get that money back. Let's get that money back. You have an obligation to carry out the law and to implement what the Congress has done. Unbelievable. Chronic disease and tobacco.
So adorable.
Tobacco use
Gold medal.
contributes to chronic disease and is a leading preventable cause of death in our nation. Each year, killing nearly 500,000 Americans, costing the nation nearly $250 billion in healthcare costs.
She is jingly.
CDC's tips from former smokers
Right, very jingly.
is estimated to have saved more than $7 billion in healthcare costs by helping more than 1 million smokers quit. Why did you eliminate CDC's Office of Smoking and Health, an office that reduces the number of kids using tobacco products, helps order tobacco users to quit, and saves taxpayers dollars?
We have, under the reorganization, and I'm going to talk very, very broadly, because as of 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, we are under a court order not to do any further planning on the reorganization. And I've been advised by my attorneys and not to talk about it. But I will just say broadly, many of the programs that the Democrats are now saying were cut at CDC were not cut at all. Those programs were transferred to the Administration for Healthy America. But I'm not permitted to talk in any more detail because of a court order.
I know we're just dealing with words. You transfer it here. There's less money overall for the agency. Therefore, there's less money for the programs. In both 2024, 2025, Congress, again, power of the purse resides.
Just got a fire watch warning.
Really?
Yeah, because of the wind.
Oh.
Appropriated $246 million for CDC's tobacco prevention programs. Do you commit to following the law again, fully obligating those funds so that we can help adults who want to quit using tobacco and prevent teens from becoming addicted?
Allow me to answer that by pointing out the absolute cataclysmic disorganization of this agency under your oversight for 40 years. We had 9 separate offices of women's health. When we consolidate them, the Democrats say we're eliminating them. We're not. We're still appropriating the $3.7 billion, but we're not keeping all 9. We had 8 separate offices for minority health. We eliminated 1. We had 27 HIV offices.
Okay, let me just, I'm going to.
We had 59 behavioral health
right.
programs.
I'm well over time. If you could just get us what has been eliminated, why you're doing it, and the criteria by which the elimination has occurred. That is information that this committee needs in order to be able to do our job in terms of appropriating funds. Thank you.
And we will gladly.
IH.
Oh, he is so.
She rocked it again, by the way. I like her. You're lucky to work for her, Tim.
Yeah.
She
I mean,
is
I don't
awesome.
want to toot my own horn, but
yeah.
Do I get to play it?
Sucking us dry.
I thought no one liked it, so I stopped playing.
I like it.
All right, there we go. Mark.
You should have told me you were going to do that, Marco. I
just want to say, guys, what are your Congress people doing?
What's her face was just on TV, and you already know what Tammy Duckworth is about, so don't even start with me. Don't even
Also,
start
Amy
with me.
Klobuchar, she's always in the news fucking around with these idiots.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Ollie, what about your congressperson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie, what about your Congress people?
What is your Canadian representative doing in the U.S. House of Representatives?
Yeah. Ollie, how many?
Absolutely nothing.
I got a real question. How many members of parliament does your island have?
4.
4?
Damn.
4.
How many people approximately live
That's
on
half the
your
population.
island?
135,000.
Well, that's not
being
too
generous.
bad.
It's like a
that
city.
that is more equivalent to what our Congress should be if they were following the Constitution at all when it came to the House of Representatives.
We have 343 ridings across the country now, right? So that's up 6 from the last time that we had an election because the population went up.
Brenna, don't be mean in the comment section.
They're gonna
Ollie,
come
Brenna.
Ollie, you ignore Brenna.
Yeah, that's
Look
so
away.
funny.
Avert
Get him,
your
Brenna.
eyes. Avert your eyes.
Get him.
We're being nice to Ollie so Mark Carney doesn't come at us.
We're not really in the. We don't have the moral high ground.
Tim, let's
anymore.
be fair. Any Canadian could come for us and we'd lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do the Congresswoman real quick, and then that's not what I meant. Let's review the Congresswoman real quick.
Well said.
And then we'll move on to doing RFK.
What the fuck?
I
Just
hate
when
you,
thought.
Tim.
Just when I thought.
So real quick, content.
She was right on point again. She had her numbers all in line. Solid B+. She was prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, I would say B+.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I could live with that.
Delivery. She was much angrier in this one.
She was, and she felt sharper, more on point than the last video.
I appreciate
Unbelievable.
that too.
But I can't remember what we scored in the last video for delivery.
I can tell you right now.
Unbelievable.
She should get a plus to whatever that was.
The pause, unbelievable, is my favorite. Let me see
Oh
if I
yeah,
can find it.
the unbelievable. Yeah, we gave her a B+ last time.
So she's probably A now.
Transcript, save me.
Just to be fair.
Yeah, I also thought she was sharper. She'd have a lot of anger behind that. And RFK was being either purposefully obtuse or he truly didn't know.
That one.
I think he's a dumb son of a bitch.
A little column A, a little column B.
Yeah.
He was like, if you give me the money, then I'll spend it. I don't know what we're talking about here.
He gave it.
We're trying to give it to you, but you're cutting that part of it and don't.
I'm pretty sure if she didn't have to be so nice, and that was being nice to RFK because he was being very dumb. She would have been like, "You stupid son of a bitch." Yeah. She would have been like, "You stupid son of a bitch. Do you know what I'm talking about?"
I'm gonna see if I can get this for the board. Hold, please.
Hold, please. Tink, tink.
Ollie.
What the Congress has done. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. Chronic disease and tobacco.
Got it.
Oh. If I give you $20 and then you immediately forget and ask for $20.
Fettuccine, linguine, martini,
I didn't mean to
bikini.
hit that. I didn't mean to press that button. My
God
finger
damn
slipped.
It's still
Sure it did.
It's still
Mussolini.
I was looking for my record button and that happened. So where were we? Delivery. Yeah, delivery. A for delivery?
A for
I think so, yes.
Okay.
And vibes.
Vibes? I mean, fuck man. She was taking it to RFK there.
She was. She let him have it, so another A.
And
I'll give her A+. Not quite S, but she's right on the edge, I think.
Mikey?
A for me.
A? All right. So that gives her
you really could tell that she was jingly today, by the way.
she is jingly.
Yeah. Great.
That gives her an A- overall.
Oh, there you go. She did well.
She might move.
That might even move her up a little.
All right. RFK, the big one, the big dog.
All the Fs. Let's go to
All
the next
the
thing.
Fs. All the Fs.
Pineapple.
Do worse than F in anything?
Pineapple content.
Oh, that's probably a pineapple. Like
He's lying about his crazy shit now, and that's also bad.
Him defending that guy who's not really a doctor.
Yeah.
That's because they're besties, by the way. They're besties.
Yeah.
who forged his dad's signature, who is a doctor.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So
there's so much worse that he could have said. Content-wise. I understand what you're saying, that he's lying, he's being manipulative and misleading and just a dumbass overall, but he could have said things that were so much worse. We got to reserve the pineapple for the absolute most disgusting things that get said.
What could he have said that was worse?
I'm gonna give him an
Did
F.
he say anything racist?
He deserves an F.
Did he actually say anything transphobic?
Not this
didn't.
time. No,
This time, yes.
He just lied
That's
about
what I'm saying.
measles outbreaks.
He just lied about the
He
health
lied, yes,
of the
that's an
entire
F.
country.
That's an F.
So here's
That's an F.
so here's why I'm going to defend an F.
An F or pineapple? F? Okay.
Either one. Wherever you guys go with it, I'll back you up on it. But I think it has to be F or pineapple, because what he's doing is he's trying to sane wash his crazy anti-vax bullshit. So instead of just saying go get the vaccine for your little people so that they don't get swept up in this outbreak, he won't say that ever, but he'll definitely tell you to put some battery up your ass, or you know what I'm saying, or fucking or pour these salt crystals into your eyes. Like, he'll tell you some wacky crazy shit, but you are the health and human services guy. You won't tell people to be safe. You won't show people how to be healthy, and you're cutting the fucking funding.
Right.
He's I mean, and maybe it's his voice where, you know, we kind of like give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, but if he was saying this in kind of like a Ben Shapiro voice, the same words, we would be like, who the fuck is this monster?
Yeah.
But because his voice is so addled and he's being so not dismissive, but he's trying to like dance around so much. He's being so obtuse
or even disingenuous.
He's being so disingenuous. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's moving and shaking, but what he's actually saying is quite tragic. And thousands of kids are at risk because of his fucking mindset.
And people do listen to him, because when he said you should use vitamin A to treat the measles, kids started going to the hospital for vitamin A poisoning.
Their parents were just overloading them.
Yeah, yeah.
He
They're
didn't
getting
say that
vitamin
in
A
this
shots.
clip, did he?
No.
So
that's
why?
what he's defending.
But in the second clip, when he said, "Don't take medical advice from me. I'm not a doctor," it is the opposite of what's happening
and what he's doing. And what he's been doing.
And yet he's then giving that advice to ignore doctors by not being a doctor, but don't listen to me because I'm not a doctor.
Don't listen to anybody.
I'm gonna give an F. I think that's the
I
highest grade you can give
100% agree with an F minus even, but I just
F minus.
Pineapple level should be reserved for the absolute most horrible things that are said.
All right.
We also don't know what's in that brown ass liquid that he's drinking.
No, man,
on camera,
it's
it's
that creek
thousands.
water he was swimming in. It's that creek water.
Yes, unfiltered creek water.
Several bug larvae.
He calls it natural spring water.
It's from a well.
Dog bath water. Dog water cures.
I found this in a rusted water tank in the back.
Does anybody know if he's one of those people that supports drinking your own urine?
Could
Not
be.
yet.
Could be.
Not
The
yet.
dude left a dead bear in Central Park because he didn't want to take it on the airplane with him. He could do anything.
You think that guy's able to drink his own pee? That shit's battery acid. Look at him. There's no way any water comes out of him.
Delivery.
Oh, F.
He ain't gonna never get a deliver.
It's impossible for him to do better than F.
He better get an auto tuner.
Presentation. Throw him back up on the big board there, Mikey.
He's a horrible person, but
I mean,
looks
he dresses all right.
Awfully red.
I see some wrinkles in that jacket. I'm just saying.
Well, he's all scrunched up like that. Yeah.
D
red
minus.
face.
The way he shakes when he talks is like disheartening.
That's the neurological thing that's doing it to his throat. Is it's like a muscle spasm.
Yeah, like
so it shakes him.
He's not like a healthy human being. He shouldn't be in charge of making other people healthy. He's done so many drugs in his lifetime.
That heroin.
So many drugs. And he's a Kennedy. So they're all fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Were they
inbred? But for the way he presented himself with that,
He's the
Hard to
ceiling
do
on
better
this
than
is
a
a
D.
D. Yeah, a D.
Yeah,
I think a
hard to
D.
do better than a D.
Mikey.
Yeah, D. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
All right.
The dude severed a whale head and kept it.
Yeah.
Putting up.
RFK Jr.'s vibes.
It's vibes, the way he made you feel.
Pineapple.
The ugliness
Pineapple.
just sensed in his
Pineapple.
heart.
Pineapple.
I agree with a pineapple on vibes because he
Three
is just
pineapples.
a disgusting, hurt human being.
Oh wow, that puts him on the leaderboard.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
unbelievable. Let's move away from this now. Let's go.
People get the jobs that we white people used to have.
I'm just got him. Got him, coach. Got him, coach.
Fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini.
That one was on purpose. Oh wait, no, this one gets Mikey.
If you followed all the instructional material, you just
Said it and forget it. Fuck you. All right, now I'm gonna go to everyone's favorite train wreck.
Which one?
Gotta be more specific.
The suspense.
Push the goddamn button.
I'll be right back.
Yo, she said.
On your watch.
Gentlemen's time has expired. I now recognize.
Mr. Chairman,
she needs
ask unanimous consent to enter for the record. One of our colleagues had asked if there was evidence if the so-called Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, was MS-13. According to the Attorney General of the United States, she posted that the evidence shows Kilmar Abrego Garcia has repeatedly been identified as a member of MS-13 by a Maryland County Police Gang unit, which I introduced for the record, a reliable confidential informant, ICE officers, an immigration judge agreed, and an appellate board agreed.
Without.
So you have, is that a court order? Well, I object.
No, she can put anything she wants in the record. She's not complying to your request, Mr. Goldman.
And then it's like without objection, and then he goes, "I object." He's like, "Hey, wait a minute."
Yeah,
you can't object. I don't want to.
You can though.
Here's how the process works. She asked for unanimous consent, which is we all agree, right? And then the chair is supposed to wait a moment and look for objections, because then you can't have unanimous consent. That's not how it works.
It's not unanimous. He disagrees.
If one person disagrees, then they all have to vote on putting it into the record.
Right.
It's bullshit.
She's been having a rough week.
She's having. This isn't even about her, but she's having a rough week.
She asked for unanimous consent.
Okay, so you're objecting to her putting that into the record?
I am objecting subject to a clarification. Is that a court order that establishes that he's a member of MS-13?
An immigration judge agreed that he was MS-13.
For bail purposes.
An appellate board agreed.
Don't misrepresent.
Oh, hold on.
A judge.
Oh.
Everybody pause. We're going to let talk at the time.
Their
You
mics
ask
are
a question.
peaking.
Yeah, their mics are.
According to the Attorney General of the United States, she informed
Pam Bondi
that an immigration judge agreed that your Maryland.
She's got a social media post in her hand, by the way. It looks like it's Twitter.
Yeah, it looks like it's Twitter.
It's just Twitter printed out.
Oh my God.
Printed from MapQuest.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia is MS-13. An appellate board agreed. ICE officers
are misstating
agreed.
what
A
the
reliable.
Look, it is Twitter.
Oh my God, it is a tweet. She's fucking posting a tweet in Congress.
She said, "I'm trying to put this in the record."
She wanted unanimous consent to fucking put a tweet in Congress.
It's even got the time that it was posted down there. Look, it's got the date line.
I know
Mikey,
that-
enhance.
I can't.
Do you know how many tweets have been entered into the record in
A
fucking
lot.
congressional hearings ever since Trump became president the first time?
All of them. Bunch.
My God.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so useful. And it's got the fucking paper slam in there. So good.
The just general sadness.
It's not yours right now. She has the floor. Please continue answering the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
What?
A Maryland County.
She's not answering the question, sir.
No, she's going to answer the question, and then
She's not answering it.
Can you make sure that she answers the question?
finish answer. You just said, please finish your answer.
A Maryland County Police gang unit agreed that he's MS-13. A reliable confidential informant agreed that he's MS-13. ICE officers agreed that he's MS-13. An immigration judge agreed that he's MS-13. An appellate board agreed that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, your Maryland man, is MS-13.
Okay.
I
You have
object.
the floor. What do you want to say?
I object because she is misstating the record and the facts. That is not accurate, and therefore I object to that being introduced. There is no.
Mr.
Well, sir, can
Chairman?
I explain? You let her go on.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
There is no final court order establishing that he's a member. Maybe he is. So you should put all that evidence before a judge, and if he is MS-13, he should be deported. That's what we're talking about, but you're misstating what all of that evidence is.
No, I think
Actual facts.
You basically just read what the Attorney General said, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't assert that this was a court order, did you? Did you assert that this was a court order?
I read the Attorney General of the United States.
And you have a right on our committee to submit for unanimous consent or a vote if we want to put it to a vote.
You're going to have to.
This for the
I mean, you're going to have to because you don't have unanimous consent.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
she has a right.
Can I review what she is submitting?
No, she can submit something to this committee.
But it matters that she just said she represented exactly what the Attorney General said. She has a document there. I would like to see that document.
Let's make a copy
To
for
see if her
everybody, and we'll
representation-
vote on. I'm an adult. Hold on, just. A
I'm an
second.
adult.
I'm
That's what
an
I
adult.
You're calling for the
I'm
question.
all grown up.
Calling for the question. The clerk, we're going to need to set. Hold on just a second. Brief reset.
Okay, I got to pause real quick. So here's my thing. And this is, and I hope I'm not too out of turn. And I know we're trying to keep this quick, but this is what the Democrats should have been doing the entire time. Every time that they wanted to bring something up or put something on the record, no, I'd like a vote on that. Nope, I'd like to vote on that. Nope, I'd like to vote on that. And vote all friggin' day and all friggin' night. And if they don't have it, and if people go to the bathroom or if people are out of town or if they're on vacation, doesn't matter. You better have the numbers every fucking day because we're going to make you vote on every single thing every day. That's what Congress could have been doing to protect us, but they didn't.
So it's super effective in the Senate because unanimous consent is a thing in the Senate. However, it's not in the House of Representatives. So you can slow the Senate to an absolute standstill if you wanted. The House doesn't care about any of that. They're far more efficient for some reason. It's like it's harder to slow them down. You can't filibuster in the House. There's the minority party really has no power in the House. But in the Senate, you could grind that motherfucker to a halt.
I want to vote on everything.
What day
I want
is
to make
it?
sure we
I
have
wanna
a
vote.
I want a decor, and then there needs to be a quorum. I need a quorum on everything.
Yeah, you can
everything.
Anyone can call for a quorum at any time in the Senate.
Every opportunity. I'm saying it.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here all day just doing attendance.
Yeah, and then the House would be passing bills the Senate couldn't even work through at all.
Yep. That was the play, but Chuck Schumer said, "Just let them have it.
Just let them have it.
Wait till their approval numbers go down."
But look at how they malfunctioned when one senator said, "I don't accept the unanimous consent. I object."
Yeah.
And now they have to call for everyone's got a
recess.
printout of Marjorie Taylor Greene's tweet that she had. And then they got to have a roll call vote.
Yep.
And the clerk has to record it and then report it out. It's going to take them 10 minutes to get this shit done.
And that's what needs to happen every friggin' time. Every time. All right, rant over.
Oh.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I object.
Oh, did they? How long did they go in the reason? Oh, they came back. Good.
They're coming right back. Coming back after these messages.
I'm just asking. Hold on.
Oh shit! They're coming back hot.
I have the floor. All right. So we have
spice
motion to vote on the submission of this for the record. That's all that has been stated. And
a parliamentary increase, sir.
Do not interrupt me again.
Or what?
Or what?
What
We
you gonna
are
do
on
about
the
it, big
vote
boy?
on whether or not
Do it.
this
Interrupt
can be
him.
entered into the record. A motion
this
has been
interrupting?
made, and we will vote on that motion. All of those in
I have
favor.
a parliamentary inquiry before we vote, sir.
Mr. Ranking Member.
It's our request that we object. And in the middle of the objection, you consider a motion, which
He was done talking about Ms.
No, he wasn't.
I just have a
No, he wasn't.
Shit.
A parliamentary inquiry. Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
Is it the procedure of this committee that someone who is making an objection to the admission of evidence cannot review that evidence before we vote on it?
Good question.
Yeah, the content is irrelevant.
I don't know.
to the motion, and the
What?
motion has been made
Can you
to
go
vote
back
on
5 seconds?
the
What the fuck did
submission.
he say?
What the question?
No, the answer.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want.
The content is irrelevant to the motion.
The
and
content
the
is
motion has
irrelevant
been
to the
made
motion.
to vote on the submission for the record.
The content is irrelevant? I mean, that's what I'm objecting to. If she is accurate in what her representation is, I will withdraw my objection. I just need to see the
Somebody
document.
walk the thing over there and let him read it.
No, once you make copies before you
This
start
is
putting
a
them on.
Yeah.
tweet.
We'll hold
Yeah, what
on
happened to
to
making copies?
Mr. Ogles.
Where the copies at? So let me see this thing.
See, they don't have that 24-hour fucking print shop.
Mm-hmm.
The
Need
Doge
that.
committee cut their
If
budget.
MTG showed up prepared, she would have copies for everybody.
At least for the committee, and at least the chair.
Look how pissed she is.
I just wanted to put up my propaganda, and you're making me fucking read.
Mr. Chairman, given that this is a tweet from the Attorney General that is effectively, I believe, consistent with what Ms. Taylor Greene says, I withdraw my objection.
Gentleman withdraws his objection. I now recognize who's up.
Listen, that took them 5 minutes to fucking figure out.
Government.
Yay.
It's the thing. Yeah.
So
who am I lining up here?
Well, we're gonna review MTG, right?
She did nothing.
I mean,
how dare
She
you?
just held up a piece of paper.
I mean, we could also. I mean,
Really major mistake and an insult to me.
there's a lot of characters in this play, right?
Yes.
You got Marjorie Taylor Greene, the senator who objected to her, and then the chair.
Yeah.
Who
Chair is an idiot.
Chairman Green, who is kind of an asshole.
He's a bit.
Believe it. There we go. So there's him. That doesn't go back to her for quite a while.
So why don't we do it this way then? Because there's 3 of them, right? We're gonna
Off with the heads. No.
we're just gonna overall consider everything. Consider content, delivery, vibes,
Considering.
and just give me your snap overall Marjorie Taylor Greene.
F. No, D. She didn't
D.
get all the way down to F.
D
Yeah.
minus.
She didn't
Yeah.
have enough time to get to F.
She
If
did.
she had more time, she would have got there, but she didn't get there yet.
She ran out of gas.
Yep.
I mean, I give her a D. I mean, she was lying in what she said.
Timothy.
Sure you would, Tim. Sure you would.
God damn it.
So
A
the
family
guy,
show.
the guy sitting to the left of the chair gets an S.
Oh yeah, that guy too.
I forget his name.
I don't remember what his name was. He's like, no, he didn't.
He was a
S.
big part of the impeachment
Yeah.
hearing. I forget his name.
He gets an honorable mention because he just said that.
Oh. I'll move the fucking
Right.
Oh,
banner.
it's in the way.
Fucking
That's how hard
Chiron.
these people are. God.
Put it
What
on
is
the
this? The
top.
House Homeland Security Committee. Hold on.
These people are so annoying.
Enhance.
There is no
Yeah.
enhance on these shit videos.
Enlarge.
Here, I'm gonna look up the members.
It's okay. It's not that important.
Well, we
I just
wanna
really
get
like.
we want to get his name right for the record. I'm not seeing him.
Nope. Look him up later and give him an honorable mention.
Yeah, I guess we'll look him up later.
We'll talk about it at the end of the year.
The dude who was objecting.
I'm giving him a B+.
B+. We got to figure out. We got to figure out who the fuck that is now.
Yeah.
MAGA, see? In the very bottom left. MAGA.
He presented himself all right and was fairly forceful, talking about like trying to get his point across. And really all he was doing was just trying to delay the action, which he accomplished. So, yeah, B+.
Oh, here's Benny Thompson is the ranking member.
Okay.
And that dude is Dan Goldman.
This is Dan Goldman.
That is Dan Goldman.
Go Dan.
So
Benny Thompson's from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Actually, you know what? Since they're all like small players in this, we're just gonna we're honorable mention Dan Goldman, honorable mention Benny Thompson, and Mark Green, the chair. How do we feel about him?
Dishonorable. Like he was just barking.
Dishonorable pineapple.
He was definitely leaning trying to force things through for MTG.
Yep.
So yeah.
D for dishonorable.
D for dishonorable.
Agreed.
All right, Mikey. What's the next thing? Oh God, it's more Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Miss Crockett from Texas.
Thank you so much. It is
tricked you.
I just learned today at 44 years old that the Republicans are going to be the ones to save women. The same Republicans that have been, say, for women's reproductive acts, or the same Republicans that have stood for the Equal Rights Act, which would hopefully get women to equal pay, or the same Republicans that just this Congress voted for the SAVE Act, which we know would disenfranchise women from even being able to vote. But let me tell you, they are our saviors, and so I am so happy to be here today, because otherwise I would not have an idea that I had a savior in the Republicans. So let's also
be out soundbite.
that it's only been 100 days, 100 long, terrible days for anybody that absolutely believes in reality, because what we know is that they have terminated staff responsible for enforcing federal protections against sex-based discrimination. Sounds like that's pro-women. Or they've cut funding for domestic violence survivor services. Sounds pro-woman to me. Or they prohibited funding for research affecting women's health. That definitely sounds pro-women to me. Essentially, they closed the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights. Again, sounds like they are fighting for us. And instead of providing oversight over these actions, congressional Republicans have been working to execute one of the most aggressive anti-women legislative agendas in history. And yet they're here today trying to convince the American people that discriminating against trans people is somehow the only way to protect women. This hearing has nothing to do with improving government efficiency. It's another attempt by Republicans to distract from their demonic and disastrous policies that are making it more difficult for Americans to make ends meet. So, Miss Goss Graves, I want to play a game. This called, you ready?
Trump or trans?
Yeah, she was on Colbert the other night after this, and they were going.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I know you like to spoil shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you to tell me whether or not it is Trump or trans people that are responsible.
Ooh, let's play along at home.
Let's play. Yeah, let's play along. All right.
I'm gonna pause so we can all answer.
Understand?
Got it.
Okay, very good. The first one: gutted medical research.
Trump.
Orange man.
Trans people be gutting. They be gutting researches all the time, though.
No, it's Trump. It's Trump.
Putin.
Kidnapping Americans and sending them to foreign countries.
Yo, that's got.
That might be trans people.
Yeah, it's probably trans people.
AKA deporting them.
Trump.
Trans people stay deporting though.
Trump.
Driving.
Damn it.
Trump.
I didn't even get a chance to pause it.
Increasing the cost of everything.
Trump.
I mean, there's only so much stuff for me to buy, and if the trans people are buying all of it, how am I supposed to buy it?
Mikey, how many trans people are there really? Come on, they're not raising the prices of things.
There's got to be hundreds of millions of them.
I was going to say there's at
16 of
least
them, Mikey,
it's one. It was
16.
at 1 in 6. It's like 1.5 billion in the U.S. alone, or something. I don't know.
It's there's hundreds of billions of trans people. I can't even fucking find stuff at the grocery store. They have bought everything. They're so rich. They have all the money.
Is that the hundreds of millions of people who also have been saved by Pam Bondi taking fentanyl off the streets?
Yeah.
Hundreds of
and these are hundreds of millions of overdoses.
Hundreds of
like
millions
wait,
of
we
people.
all would have to take that
Yeah,
much?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Waging an idiotic tariff war.
Trump.
Harming farmers.
Trump.
Ignoring the Constitution.
Trump.
Proposing to take away Social Security.
Trump.
Cutting health care.
Trump.
Firing government workers who keep our country safe.
Trump.
Encouraging an environment of hate and divisiveness.
Trump.
Oh wait,
Thank
sorry,
you so
Trump.
much. This committee could be engaged in actual oversight of fraud, waste, abuse, and mismanagement. So let's talk about waste. Like Trump's plan to spend almost $100 million for his little birthday parade.
Okay, let's see.
It's not a tweet.
I was trying to hold on. Let me try to
Like
pause
Trump's
it here.
plan to spend almost.
Okay. Second term is a hole in your pocket. It says Trump
Yeah, it says-
second term golf something time and cool. That can't be
It's
right.
100
Oh yeah, golf game.
Golf.
Second term golf game. Time and cost. Projected full term cost. It says 170 something, probably million.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
probably a million.
13 trip cost from the GAO estimate. Estimated days rest of 2025, and then golf days in first 99 days.
Yo, he golfed 20. He's keeping a good
24
record.
and 99.
He's keeping a good. A quarter of his life is spent golfing, just
That's-
constantly.
That's fair, I guess. Yikes.
$100 million for his little birthday parade, or how he spent 25% of his first 100 days golf.
Look at the gut.
That
the picture.
Yeah.
look at that, Mikey. He is 6'3" and 225.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And
That
I'm
means I'm
fuck-
6'9" and 180.
And I'm Jason Momoa. I too am
he is
6'8".
He is a paragon of male physicality.
That's why he stands like at the fucking Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Golfing, costing taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. In fact, it's a little bit.
Yo, the sign is 4. I'm dead. I'm dead. I just caught that.
Over 30 million at our last estimation. In fact,
pause for a second?
President.
Yes.
Do Republicans not have a budget to make good images when they talk?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to double check because this is a really nice, well done poster.
It is.
Marjorie Taylor Greene had a printout of a tweet.
She did print that shit out and then ran across the hall.
Like you have assistants. It's what they like. Go make me fancy sign.
Yeah. Make good sign. Come back.
I would
Come
like-
back.
I
Share.
would like to point out the other members in the room. Look, you got Miss Randall there, Congresswoman Randall, enjoying the shit out of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a good day.
The chairwoman over there looks completely like
on her phone.
she's not even looking.
Interesting. Yeah.
She's picking her nails. That's what she's doing.
She's tweeting.
She's tweeting about this.
Yeah.
And Trump is on pace to spend more than $1 billion of taxpayer dollars just on golfing. Yet the Republicans have been silent. So they must think spending taxpayer dollars on the president's golfing trips is more important than providing health care to their constituents. And when I talk about constituents, we're going to talk about the ones on this committee. So if we look at Texas 26, 39,000 children look to potentially lose their Medicaid with the cuts that they are about to vote on for reconciliation. 88,000 in Georgia 3, 68,000 in Missouri 7, 79,000 in Tennessee 2, 86,000 in South Carolina 4, 50,000 in Texas 04, 85,000 in Texas 27, and in Georgia 14, 111,000. And if you add that up just on this committee, we have 606,000 kids that are relying on us to do right by them. And instead, we playing these crazy games because we worried about 10 trans folk that are in sports right now in college. I wasn't elected to be engaged in these fights. I was elected to make sure that those kids, the kids that they are about to neglect with these terrible votes that they're about to take, I was elected to protect them and to make sure that they could grow up and have all the opportunities. But let's keep on track. Now, when we look at how much they are spending on, let's look at fraud. We could investigate whether the White House and the members of the subcommittee engaged in insider trading and market manipulation. Maybe it's a coincidence that the chairwoman they announced a 90-day pause on tariffs.
Whoa.
Oh my.
Capitol Hill or Wall Street? What? I wish I could make out that rating.
Oh, it says Capitol Hill or Wall Street. Marjorie Taylor Greene bought stock in Palantir on
Palantir
on April 8th. On April 17th, a $30 million deal between Palantir and ICE was announced. Marjorie Taylor Greene's on the House. She sits on the House Committee for Homeland Security, and the stock has now risen 48% in 3 weeks since her purchase.
Wow. Wow.
And then there's a little graph of the stock itself, I assume.
And that's her bleach blonde butch body, bad butch body right there.
She's making a balloon noise with her mouth.
Look at how overjoyed Congresswoman Randall is.
Yes. Yeah.
She's like, got her.
Oh, you know what it was? She could see that sign on the floor, and she knew that that sign was coming up next. She's like, "Ooh, how's she reacting to this one? Ooh, the next one's really gonna get her."
Oh, please pan out to see Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, I want to see her. I was just thinking that too.
It must be so
Finally,
fun
let's talk about
to
it.
sit next to
Like how the
Congresswoman Crockett.
Republicans have let Elon steal data of Americans and his competitors
Wait.
Not your data, dumbass.
to make himself even richer. Look, don't let these hearings distract you from their destruction. This is rage baiting instead of conducting oversight over the issues that Americans actually care about. And with that, I will yield. $100 just
He's my new favorite person. Like,
guys, I don't even think it's an S rank the whole way through. I don't
All
see the
of it.
problem.
I don't like
kinda
Elon
rocked
Musk.
everything about
I
it.
can say it 50,000 times.
Dude, she even brought like excellent what's the word I'm thinking of?
Passion.
No, like
Props?
props. Yes,
Yeah,
props.
there you go.
Yeah, she had show and tell down.
Visual
She
aid
had show and tell
materials.
down.
I mean, in this case, we could actually do presentation. She brought things to present.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. So listen. I don't care what the category is. It's S for me.
Yeah, all of it.
She rocked it. Yeah, I can agree with an S.
That was it was part. I liked the Trump or trans game. That was a good
Oh
bit.
yeah, I forgot that she even brought a game.
Yeah, she brought a game,
Yeah.
and then she yelled at them for a
Yeah,
while, and then she
yeah.
came with receipts.
And
Yeah.
she had the most diabolical poster that anybody's
Yeah.
seen in quite some. Look at this.
Yeah, yeah.
And she
This is an S. This is how you get an
quoted,
S.
She quoted the
rocked it.
Saw movies like, "I want to play a game." I'm like,
I like to
"Oh,
play a game. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Oh. Ah. And then she put up a real Saw monster right up there on the screen.
Yeah.
That's the thing that was on the tricycle, right? Oh, that's her.
What's her district? Is she Georgia?
Georgia
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
If I was ever going to move to Georgia, which I don't really want to do, I would move to her district.
I heard Atlanta is Wakanda. I might have to go slap through for a visit. That's what I heard though.
Damn.
So,
yes. I'll put her at
yeah.
the top of the leaderboard.
Well, see, here's the thing: is she averages out to slightly less than S, but she's going to be number 2.
Yeah.
Triple S. Put her at the top.
Do we have anything else? Is that the last one?
Nope.
There's another.
You did this.
I did do
Not
this.
me.
I did do
much,
this.
Madam Chair, Madam Secretary.
Well, Senator Murphy happens to be from Connecticut.
Look at the inside. Look at the fucking Connecticut getting this fucking network. I tell you, if you're
Although
UK or Connecticut, you're a surefire way of getting in front of the line.
Although I will say at the top of this, I don't know what he's doing with that beard. I don't know where he's going with
a
it.
little too long.
Yeah.
It's looking frazzled.
It's the opposite of Ben Shapiro's problem. Ben Shapiro just has the stubble. His beard makes him look a little crazy.
Good. We need it.
We need your craze.
Call yesterday. I look forward to working closely with you. I say this with seriousness and respect.
Oh, good. I thought this was Britt. I thought Britt was going to talk. I was like, you motherfucker.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that to you. This is
Because
Senator
look,
Murphy.
because she's at the beginning. I was like, oh my God.
I
Another fake out. Another fake out.
He did fake me out. Okay. Tim, I ain't going to have to hurt you. Okay. All the stuff I was planning to do to you while you were sleeping.
I mean, you still got to listen to Christy Nome talk.
I'm going to take half them things off the list.
Seriousness and respect, but your department is out of control.
Ooh.
You are spending like you don't have a budget. You're on the verge of running out of money for the fiscal year.
Tell him, Murph.
You are illegally refusing to spend funds that have been authorized by this Congress and appropriated by this committee. You are ignoring the immigration laws of this nation, implementing a brand new immigration system that you have invented that has little relation to the statutes that you are required, that you are commanded to follow, as spelled out in your oath of office. You are routinely violating the rights of immigrants who may not be citizens, but whether you like it or not, they have constitutional and statutory rights when they reside in the United States. Your agency acts as if laws don't matter, as if the election gave you some mandate to violate the Constitution and the laws passed by this Congress. It did not give you that mandate. You act as if your disagreement with the law, or even the public's disagreement with the law, is relevant and gives you the ability to create your own law. It does not give you that ability. Let's start with your spending. You are on track to trigger the Anti-Deficiency Act. That means you are going to spend more money than you've been allocated by Congress. This is a rare occurrence, and it is wildly illegal. Your agency will be broke by July, over 2 months before the end of the fiscal year. You may not think that Congress has provided enough money to ICE, but the Constitution and the federal law does not allow you to spend more money than you have been given or to invent money. And this obsession with spending at the border, as the chairwoman mentioned, has left the country unprotected elsewhere. The security threats to the United States are higher, not lower, than when Trump
Russia
was in office. On the border, you have illegally gutted spending for cybersecurity.
North Korea.
As we speak, Russian and Chinese hackers are having a field day attacking our nation. You've withdrawn funds for disaster.
With those when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway,
Storms are going to kill more people in this country because of your illegal withholding of these funds. Your myopia about the border, fueled by President Trump's prejudice against people who speak a different language, has shattered many of this country's most important defenses. Now let's talk about the impoundments. When Congress appropriates funds for a specific purpose, the administration has no discretion as to whether to spend or not spend that money unless you go through a very specific process with this committee. Let me give you two of many instances of this illegal impoundment. The first is the Shelter and Services Program. Senator Britt may want to zero that account out, but that account is funded, and it was funded in a bipartisan way. You don't like the program. Your policy is to treat migrants badly. I think that's abhorrent, but it doesn't matter that you don't like the program. You cannot cancel spending in this program, and you cannot use the funds as you have to fund other things like ICE. You have also canceled citizenship and integration grants, which help lawful permanent residents become citizens, helping them take the citizenship test. I know your goal is to try to make life as hard as possible for immigrants, but that goal is not broadly shared by the American public. That's why Congress, in a bipartisan way, for decades, has funded this program to help immigrants in this country become citizens. Now let's talk about why encounters at the southern border are down so much. This is clearly going to be your primary talking.
They heard his measles in Texas.
Yeah, they want to go to Texas.
There are less cases in Mexico.
They go stay there where it's safe.
Point. You will tell us that it represents a success. But the primary reason why encounters are down is because you are brazenly violating the law every hour of every day. You are refusing to allow people showing up at the southern border to apply for asylum. I acknowledge that you don't believe that people should be able to apply for asylum, but you don't get to choose that. The White House doesn't get to choose that. The law requires you to process people who are showing up at the border and who claim asylum. Why? Because our asylum law is a bipartisan commitment, an effort to correct for our nation's unconscionable decision to deny entry to Jews to this country who were being hunted and killed by the Nazis. Our nation, Republicans and Democrats, wrote it into law that we would not repeat that horror ever again, and thus we would allow for people who were fleeing terror and torture to come here, arrive at the border, and make a case for asylum. Finally, let's talk about these disappearances. In an autocratic society, people who the regime does not like or people who are protesting the regime, they are just often picked up off the street, spirited away, sometimes to open-ended detention.
That's all.
Sometimes they're never seen again. What you are doing, individuals who have legal rights to stay here, like Kilmar Abrego Garcia, or students who are just protesting Trump's policies, is immoral. And to follow the theme, it is illegal. You have no right to deport a student visa holder with no due process simply because they have spoken in a way that offends the president. You can't remove migrants who a court has given humanitarian protection from removal. Now, reports suggest that you are planning to remove immigrants with no due process and send them to prisons in Libya. Libya is in the middle of a civil war. It is subject to a level 4 travel advisory, meaning we tell American citizens never to travel to Libya. We don't have an embassy there because it is not safe for our diplomats. Sending migrants with pending asylum claims into a war zone just because it's cruel is so deeply disturbing.
It is.
I understand that my Republican colleagues on this committee don't view the policy the way that I do. My Republican colleagues don't share my level of concern for the way that this administration treats immigrants. That's fine. But what I don't understand is why we don't have consensus in the Senate and on this committee on the decision by this administration to impound the spending that we have decided together to allocate in defense of this nation. We as an appropriations committee, we work interminable hours to write and pass a budget. This budget is really hard to write and pass. And so we make ourselves irrelevant when we allow the administration to ignore what we have decided. And then when we look the other way, when the administration rounds up immigrants who are here illegally and have committed no offenses worthy of detainment, we also do potential irreversible damage to the Constitution. These should not be partisan concerns, destroying the power of Congress, eroding individuals' constitutional rights. This should matter to both parties. Madam Secretary, thank you for being here, and I look forward to your testimony.
Oh, I guess we don't have to listen to Christy Nome.
Oh,
awesome.
Yay.
Woohoo! That turned out to be fresh pineapple.
Yeah, it turned out to be pretty fresh. Y'all thought it was going to be rancid.
Like so, that was a double fake out, dude. Because first off, it starts with her, and I'm like, oh shit.
And then, oh, it's Christy. Oh no.
Yeah. And then her name's all over it.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought she was going to speak, but what are you going to do?
Hey, well, I'll take Chris Murphy.
Yeah. Senator Murphy here. The words he spoke.
I think they're really good, actually. I think he
Me too.
very poignantly
I'm thinking
out a lot of the hypocrisies. Yeah. I'm good with an A.
I'm good with an A.
For sure.
His delivery.
Frisch penible.
I think it was a little monologue-y. It was a lot
bit
of reading.
In spots.
Again, not bad. There's nothing about the points that he made that I would want him not to have said.
I just wish that he had more parts of it put to memory so that he didn't have to look down at the page as much as he was.
Did read.
He was reading a lot.
It's a B plus.
B plus, yeah.
It's not quite A, but it's damn near.
We're talking about delivery?
Yeah. Presentation. Now I mentioned his scraggly beard. I don't think it's a good look for him. I don't think
he's got a decent suit on. He could be trying to grow it out. Maybe if he's trying to grow it out, it's forgivable.
So
but if this is in the way he looks all the time, then no, you're right.
He's in an in-between phase. You know, when you're trying to get it to fill in. I hate in between. Like you get an in-between haircut. Like when you used to having like waves, but then you want to get braids, but it's gonna take you like 8 months to grow your hair out that long.
Yeah.
So everybody like, yo, nice baby afro with your ugly ass. That's not my trauma for the last 20 years. It's not.
I mean, I'll give him B plus.
B plus, yeah.
B plus.
Yeah,
Somewhere in there.
He looks fine.
And then vibes.
I like the vibes.
Yeah, I like the vibes too. He had a good, clear message, and it was a positive message that everybody, you need to understand. You're doing this, and you're fucking up.
You're breaking the law to do it. So
you're
cut it
breaking
out.
the law to do it.
I did like
So
when he. Oh, sorry,
Go
Ali. What are you gonna?
I was gonna give him an A.
I was gonna say I did like when he pointed out that her department is going to run out of money in a month or two, and that it would be illegal to spend more money than she has. That she burned through all of her cash.
Yo, you
already.
know how they wasted a big chunk of that fucking money? Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
That was a
And-
huge waste. That was at least like 40 million bucks.
Yeah, and all the people they hired, like if you want to talk about somewhere that needs efficiency, it's
Just
it's
wondered,
the border.
Homeland
does Trump
Security.
have the power to all right, give them extra money?
No,
No.
he does
No,
not.
the power of the power of the purse is technically in the hands of Congress.
Yeah, they
So
But he can't put forward anything that says give her more money and have Congress vote on it or
he
anything?
put an executive order in, but it's not going to do anything because Congress has to allocate money.
what if he declared a state of emergency?
That's what he's been trying to do this whole time, but it's not working.
Yeah, it won't work. It doesn't work that way. He already declared a border emergency. It doesn't mean that he gets more money. It just means that he can shift around a few things.
We'll see how long those ICE agents will work for free.
But I think that is like sort of the theme of what the Democrats have been pushing for very recently is you guys either aren't spending the money that you're allocated by Congress or you're going to blow your budget and that's not
We're not giving you
We're
anymore.
not going to give you any more money. Like and these were all or mostly the committees that deal with budgeting.
Yeah.
So appropriations,
Appropriations, yeah.
So that's what these committees are doing. However, it seems like the Democrats all have the same thought here is that, well, they're fucking with the budget and they can't do that. It's illegal for them to do that. So we're going to start holding these secretaries accountable for their misuse of funds, whichever way it goes.
Yeah, I guess they didn't think about like the coup had to be funded.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go.
Their
I'm gonna
lackeys
go
are
A.
not going to work for free. They won't. It's
like a lot of that inflated ICE budget is because they promised all of these fucking cops who couldn't get fucking jobs because they're on the Brady list. You know, they've been kicked out of like this sheriff's department, that highway patrol, this part, like they have nowhere to work. That's who they're in, like bounty hunters and shit. That's who they're picking up. And they promised all those guys $42,000 bonuses per agent. Who's paying for that?
Right.
Who's got cash for that? Not
Trump coin.
Yeah.
Trump coin.
No, that money that was supposed to go to that other department is coming here now to pay that. That's what they're trying to do.
And I think
but they're blowing their whole budget. They can't even pull money from anywhere else.
Yeah, they're blowing the entire, like he's talking about the Department of Homeland Security. Their budget is going to be fucking blown.
Yeah.
They're not going to have any money, and then they're going to cry about it. We don't have enough money, and then we'll see how fucking government efficiency works.
Well, this is what happens when you try to have dumb Stephen Miller try to fucking write up the fucking battle plans for how to fucking take over the whole United States. He doesn't understand how fucking Congress works. He doesn't understand shit. All he knows how to do is be racist. So you got like the racist guy in charge as opposed to Steve Bannon, who is the policy guy in charge. And this is what you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is what like they had Elon trying to jack all the cash. That they didn't do that in order, so everybody found out about it. And now that the deportations, the fucking courts have got caught wind of it, so that's not working anymore. And then here's this shit where they're just blowing all of the cash and then they don't know how to govern. That's why the liberals, the horrible, wicked, socialist, woke left, this is why they never did anything huge and outlandish, because you have to fund it.
You can't just will it into being.
It doesn't just, you can't just quantitative ease your way into everything. It doesn't work. People find out.
It doesn't work that way.
The boring is the point. We want to have a boring society. It's okay for things to be boring. We can make them more fair, but if you thought you could just, Fox News your way through this whole thing, sorry, dog, we're broke right now. We're still broke from the last time y'all played your little reality TV show. Anywho.
So anyone else vibes? Do we all agree on A?
A plus.
Yeah.
A plus. I'll take an A plus for my senator.
I'm going to start suggesting only Minnesotans for clips.
I mean, you should. That's how you get them on the board.
Oh, what's happening?
Oh, I forgot. I'll bring her next week. Homegirl from the House rep or state House rep from Ferguson that we watched him on Roland Martin show.
Yeah.
We gotta get her on the board.
She should be a good one.
She crushed it. Absolutely crushed it.
Do we have anything else?
I have gas. Is that what are we asking?
I'm a little sleepy.
Are there any more videos to watch? Or
I think I pulled up. Oh wait, there's more in the private chat. Okay, no.
Okay, good. All right, so this is the end of the show, and I'll give out the new leaderboard because we have a new leaderboard. We'll start with the best. The best.
Sorry.
The good people. Number 5 for the best.
Number
For the
5.
top. Jagmeet Singh.
My homie.
Hanging on there.
Is he still in power anywhere, or did he lose his seat?
No, he lost his seat, and he's stepping down from the leadership of the NDP.
Oh, RIP.
He'll be back.
Number 4 on the list, Bernie Sanders, respectable number 4.
Those uppity women now. We want the right to choose. We'll split people on.
Oh God. Number three on the list, Mikey's Congresswoman, Tammy Duckworth. Yeah.
I don't have a thing for her, but
That's your data, dumbass.
just makes me smile.
Brand new number 2, bumping Tammy down a slot. Jasmine Crockett.
Woo!
There you go.
I don't like Elon Musk. I'm gonna say it 50,000 times.
And of course, number 1, holding the number 1 spot for every week in the year so far, Connecticut Congressman John Larson.
Shame!
Oh, God.
So aggressive.
I
We hadn't heard that one all night.
I flinched and I stopped it, but we have to hear it again because it didn't play all the way out. Brace.
Shame!
Oh.
Shame!
So there's so much anger behind that.
So angry.
I think I started sweating on my feet.
Yeah. That's
stressed me out.
I broke into a cold sweat.
I feel dirty.
I wanted to run away, but I couldn't.
We also have the bottom. The bottom 5
changes.
Not
got
particularly.
Well, yeah, we do have some changes because we reviewed RFK. So here we go. New at the number 5 slot.
Sucking us dry and
oh God. Vice President JD Vance.
Couch fucker.
Yeah.
Oh,
from
girl,
4 to
baby
5.
girl. Oh,
Wait, no, I got one for this.
You don't have time to make breakfast. You're gonna have an exciting life now.
Fucking slap chop.
Newly holding down the number 4 slot because he got bumped. Elon Musk.
That means Trump got right next to yeah.
That does mean Trump got bumped off the top 5 or bottom 5.
Yeah.
Give it time. Give it time.
A new at the number 3 slot because RFK is worse than him. Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
Does that make him happy?
not particularly.
And the new number 2 after just one review, RFK Jr.
Yep.
We do not care.
Get him out of
Well,
here.
we did
Put him back
review
in
like
next week.
3 of his videos, so it kind of, yeah.
And as always, well, not as always, the current leader, and has been the leader for a few weeks now since we started reviewing his stuff, Greg Gutfeld.
So I don't get
So
it.
bad.
By the way, if
They
you're
love him, dude. They love him. They stand for him. They love him.
if you're not a member on our YouTube channel right now, you need to become a member just so you can watch us read comments about Greg Gutfeld's videos that we posted.
Yes.
And how much these people love
The
and
glazing.
defend him.
The glazing.
They are Greg Gutfeld simps.
They like he is like, I don't know, Richard fucking Pryor to them.
Yeah,
like, he is back-breakingly, stomach cackling. Just he is crushing it by the way that they're talking about us, about not liking his video. Like he must be Robin Williams with like Fenton. Like he's got to be the greatest.
He is Johnny Carson to them. He's fucking David Letterman.
Yes.
But they don't even laugh at his own jokes.
The audience is often very quiet. They don't know where to laugh at because they don't know what part is the joke. It's so
like he needs like in the movie Shrek, they need the guy with the sign just so they know what to do.
Oh,
laugh.
Guaranteed 100% there's an applause sign in that studio.
100%. Or a light.
And here's
you need
the
a
other
bigger
thing.
one then.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to like the taping of a late night show.
I went to I was on the Steve Wilkos show. Well, in the audience for the Steve Wilkos show.
Oh,
Steve Wilkos show, really?
Yeah. I tried to find the episode, but it's like it was like season 2 or 3 because they shot it in Chicago.
Oh, shit.
So back in the day when Colbert was still doing the Colbert Report, I went for a taping for that. And I think I've been to a taping of the Daily Show. I don't remember if that's a dream or not. But
Hold on, Tim.
I'm gonna need you to be drug tested.
You don't remember.
Was it real?
I'm pretty sure, but they usually have someone come out and warm up the crowd.
Yeah.
They usually have a comedian or someone who's a writer come out and warm up the crowd for a few minutes. And then like Jon Stewart comes out or Colbert comes out and says hi to everyone for like 5 minutes.
Trevor
Noah. Everyone's or Trevor Noah. And they come out and then they're happy. You know, the crowd's already happy that they got to speak to the host and got told a few jokes. And I really wonder if they warm up the crowd on Gutfeld's show. And then does that crowd who is already supposed to be in a good mood just still not get his shit?
Just die as soon as he's on stage. Yeah.
It's Tyrus. He's the warm-up act.
Oh my God, no.
The fact that I even know who that is the horrible pain that we have to go through for this show. The fact that I even know who that is because of you. You did this to me.
You did this.
You did this to me.
So yeah, that's the current leaderboards. This week I'm gonna try and work on visuals so we can actually see the leaderboards. And
we'll have to do we'll have to have a work date.
Yeah.
And get some thumbnails.
Thumbing it.
And then convert your Excel spreadsheet into
one of those ranking charts.
With
Let me tell you,
animation.
The Street Fighter one.
It is going to be diverse. Like there's all kinds of like we're not crazy biased over here. Like there are Democrats who are in the red. There are. I don't think there's too many Republicans in the green, but like Scarborough is deep in the red. The bottom, by the way, my spreadsheet is color coded, so green is good, red is bad. But there's
you could
also
do Chuck
a lot
Schumer.
Of
He would probably be in the red.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the center. There's so many people are fucking mid, I guess.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro's moving to the center. What the fuck is happening to the world?
I think that's a one-off. I don't think that's something sustainable for him.
He's complained about he complained about the tariffs too. We just didn't cover it.
That's true. But you will see a lot of like Trump appointees at the bottom. Like that's Hegseth is on there and he's in F territory.
Well, he lied the whole time. That's the problem.
Is he still the secretary of whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought they
Secretary
were
of
trying to
Defense?
kick him out.
No, they fired the other guy.
He's king of the Pentagon.
Yeah, he's Teflon. You can't touch him.
He's styrofoam. He'll never degrade.
Bring us home.
Trump loves him. Like he absolutely like, oh my God. He's like, if that guy could just sleep with my wife, oh my God.
The dude lost 2 fucking fighter jets in the Red Sea because they just fell off the aircraft.
I thought it was in park.
He thought it was in a fucking park. They thought they had, attached the chain to it so it wouldn't go nowhere. Put the moorings on the.
You ain't got the bike locks? You could put a bike lock on there?
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Someone's out there breaking bike locks on airplanes.
Somebody cut it.
They're trying to steal them, and they just fell into the ocean.
Our aircraft carrier was in a bad neighborhood, okay?
Well, yeah, it was parked in the Red Sea. Of course, it was in a bad area.
Fucking pirates climbed up that
Somali
bitch, broke the locks. So then when they pulled off in the morning, them bitches rolled off the side. Them motherfuckers had scuba tanks. It was already down there, waiting for the ship to come down. They done took the plane.
Colombian drug smugglers where they make submarines. They have a submarine down there collecting an F-18.
They had a net down there like, got it. One plane, please.
Get me an Apache.
They're going to sell that shit back to us.
Here's the ending spiel. If you're watching on Twitch. Twitch. God, those gummies kicked in.
Woo! Let's make them talk more.
It's
No.
If you're on Twitch,
what's your favorite color?
Oh God,
it's red. Okay, that's my favorite color.
Yeah, that's a good color.
Where was I? No, if you're on,
Take us home.
Yeah, we're going home. If you're on Twitch, do the subscribe thing and give us those Bezos bucks.
That's sweet Bezos bucks.
Free Bezos bucks. Doesn't even cost you anything.
Yeah, it's free.
If you
and
got
you can
Prime.
give it to us. If you got Prime, go get Prime.
Yes. Get $150 Prime.
Get $150 Prime, and then give us your $15 sub.
Well, it's free for them.
Yeah, but it's worth $15. So
No.
you're giving us
$5.99.
$5.99, really?
Yes.
Whatever. I like $5. I can maybe go get a water.
For now.
And not even a fancy water, like Aquafina.
I like how he chose the only word he can't say as a thing he's gonna go get.
Water.
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 Worder.
That worder.
Water with a U.
Water.
WUTER. Water.
Uter.
No, it's WAU.
It's wetter.
There's no T. There's no T. It's WAUDER.
Yeah.
Water.
It's wetter. It's wetter though.
It's wetter than it's water.
WUDER. Like utter, but
Waiter?
with the W.
Waiter.
I need some waiter.
Let me get a glass of waiter.
Water.
Anyway, if we're done mocking my accent, if you're on YouTube, subscribe and like if you already haven't. Of course, you have though because you're watching the show and it's
And
great.
you're awesome.
And you can do things like super
Become a
chat.
bin
Thank you,
cider.
Kay.
Become a member, so you
Thank you,
can
Triton.
watch us read the comments that are left on our stuff and all the other stuff that goes on there.
We just put up our solo leveling love letter.
Oh yes, Mikey and I we love the solo leveling. So
Oh, our prediction is in there, and that was before
Yeah.
the last episode came out, and it is so hilarious how
yeah,
wrong we got it.
we were so wrong.
God, we were wrong.
God.
Anime's fun.
Patreon.com/The Bin Podcast. Become a patron. You'll get all the same stuff if you were a member on the YouTubes, and you can support us there. We also have a free level, so you can just do that. But I would suggest
In
at
case
least
the channel
becoming.
disappears.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, in case we disappear, because you could still watch or catch up or find out if we're still alive on Patreon.
Yes.
Apparently,
And
people are drawing porn.
Who's drawing porn?
What?
Dead City
Dead.
in the chat. All right, good for you.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's just there.
Don't know.
Mikey, get us the fuck out of here.
We love you.
Thanks for the super
Goodbye.
chats.
We love you
yes.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.